Well, hello there, and welcome to my weekly energy reading for this week, beginning the 31st of October. It's Halloween, of course, and my name is Karen Turpin. So, definitely there's been some intense energies around this week, this month actually, not just this week. Um, I've been feeling an uneasiness in the collective, really, as if everyone is on tenterhooks, waiting to find out what's going to happen next. I know that this would be a common feeling amongst those of us that are awake because we've been waiting for something to change for a long, long time already. But anyway, I think collectively in the field now, people are on tenterhooks. They want to know what's going to happen next. And I think that that's understandable because, well, so much is up in the air at the moment for so many people. But we have these midterm elections coming up in the US. In the UK, the political thing has been, I don't know, dare I say, hilarious, very upsetting and unsettling for many people, but like just, you couldn't write this stuff, right? You know, there's a prime minister in and out the door every 5 minutes, it seems. So a lot of instability and a lot of people really confused and upset, I think it would be fair to say as well. So clearly, there's a big energy around at the moment, and it's polarity, it's dark versus light. And remember that the dark doesn't want the light to reveal all, but it's coming anyway, and it can't be stopped. Trying to stop this reveal that's coming would be literally like trying to stop the sun rising over the horizon in the morning, which is exactly what's happening. The light of God, the sun is rising. There's going to be light everywhere eventually, and we're going to see everything. So, as well, we're feeling on tenterhooks, I think, about the financial system. This move towards collapsing the economy more than they already have, and this move towards the centralization of a digital currency and the removal of cash. So remember that anything centralized really means controlled, and we don't want to be controlled, do we? We're meant to be free. So we will always have choices, unless we're being forced or coerced, of course. But in regards to the financial system, it's not just one new financial system that's, in the background waiting to come forward. It's not one financial system on offer. One is centralized, digital controlled, and the other one is quantum. They're not the same. So when they talk about a new financial system, we have to really pay attention which one we're kind of going gung-ho into. We have to really pay attention to which one is which, because as with everything, there's always a sleight of hand. They're going to offer you something and take it away because it means something else. So we really have to have our wits about us at the moment. There's cryptocurrency. Now, personally, I've never been interested in cryptocurrency. It hasn't drawn me at all, hasn't excited me at all. It sounds dark to me, to be perfectly honest. Literally, like as if they've brought it up from the crypt where the dead guys hang out. And I don't want to align with that, what feels to me like dead energy. It feels like the energy of a hungry ghost. Dragging up things from the dead, I don't get that at all, and I don't get why people want to call up the dead at Halloween either. And I know that I'm recording this on Halloween, but anyway, dressing up like ghosts and ghouls is drawing upon that energy. It's almost like you're taking on a new persona. When you dress as a ghost or a ghoul or anything like that, you're literally drawing that energy. It's almost like trying to embody it as you become that person that you're playing in that character, that outfit. So you're drawing that energy up, and what we have to be aware of, people don't know this mostly, is that the veils between the dimensions are very thin right now. Like, it's Halloween, in the week leading up, the week leading the week beyond, the veils are very thin between those dimensions. It's kind of easy to slip over onto the other side at this time because there is a magnetic pull across, particularly anyone that's got in a life-threatening situation. You know, I don't want to scare anyone when I say this, but if you're in a critical situation now, the veil is thin, it's easier for you to slip over. And that's why the power of prayer and love is so important, you know, for our loved ones that are in that critical or dangerous situation. We want to keep them in the light. So the power of prayer and love, really, really important, particularly at this time, but always, of course, because we always want the best for our loved ones. But as I was saying, the veils are real thin right now. Dressing up as a ghost or a ghoul, drawing on that energy, it's not wise to do that because people don't know what they're playing with. Same with Ouija boards. People think that they're a game, but they are not. They can actually open up dark portals by playing with these types of games. And we have to remember that portals go both ways. It's not that we go through a portal and we see this whole other dimension and it's a wow. What we have to realize is that dark things come through the other way as well. So when we're opening up any portal, but when we're playing with dark energies like we would be with a Ouija board, it's those lower dimensional energies. We don't know what we're opening up. We don't know what we're bringing through, and that's very, very dangerous. We really have to kind of wise up, to be honest. These things are not games, nor is Halloween, in my opinion. In fact, it is one of the most powerful days on the calendar for those that work in the dark. When we participate, we are actually adding our energy to whatever they're cooking up. So if we're all excited and putting our consciousness and energy into the Halloween festival, we're actually feeding the energy that the dark guys use for whatever dastardly deeds they're up to. This is how satanic rituals work as well. They're powerful, they run their rituals all the time, but when you think about things like the Super Bowl or the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics, I mean, they are littered with symbology that's all dark. And we as spectators, not me, but many people as spectators, they put their energy and focus into that, and it just cultivates that energy, which is then diverted for whatever satanic ritual they've got going on at the time. I know that sounds wild, but you know, it's a statement of truth in my experience anyway. So what's good to look forward to, I hear you say, because we really want to look at some good things too. Well, the good things are that there is lots of reveal happening. Just as they can't stop the sun from rising in the morning, neither can they stop the light from shining on their dark. So, if you have lies that you're trying to cover up, you'll be feeling pretty frantic and agitated right now if you're kind of one of them guys. And as well, everything astrologically is geared towards this big reveal as well. So there really is a massive wave of truth coming. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be comfortable for everyone. It doesn't necessarily mean facing the truth of this is going to be easy. Because it's not that everyone that's going to be challenged by this has done anything wrong or bad necessarily, but rather that they've been caught up in this wave, caught up in the wrongness, and it's going to affect them as the truth comes out. So when you hold rigidly to a point of view that something is as we were told it was, when you choose, or in fact when you refuse to research for yourself in alternative information sites, then you might be pretty shocked when you discover that what you've been rigidly holding on to as truth is far from it. In fact, it's the opposite. When you find out that you were lied to, well, for all of us, it can be devastating. So there's shock, there's grief, those feelings of betrayal. And this is what we are feeling. It's begun already, but there will be more. Big, massive amount more. This is what we've been feeling collectively as more and more lies and cover-ups are revealed. People will be in shock all around us. Some people will not be able to live with themselves, actually, when they see what's really been going on and what they've done to themselves and others. I think you know what I mean by that. Many innocent people are caught up in this. It's very, very sad. And it's almost like, defending your best friend. She's been charged with something and you're defending your best friend with your life because you are so determined to say, no, she's innocent. And then suddenly you find out that she was guilty all along. But worse than that, you're the one that's now going to prison for it because you covered it up and you lied and you perpetuated that lie. So that's the kind of thing we can expect to see, this unrest as people grapple to come to terms with the extent of the cover-up on all levels of society, education, financial, healthcare, politics. And I personally think that when the big reveal of the extent and the depth of darkness of the human trafficking that's been going on, well, I think that's just going to blow people's minds. I really do think that people will struggle to live with themselves, to actually get their head around it. I see a frantic time coming up, but we're moving to a better place, I promise. And, it's like any person in any relationship that has gone through betrayal. We've got to work on ourselves to heal ourselves before we can enter a healthy relationship in the future. And so this is kind of what we're looking at on the planet now. We've been in you could say, a relationship with the government, and we've discovered that they've been betraying us, and we feel, shock and hurt and all of those hard emotional feelings. And then we have to come to a place of acceptance and understanding, and I'm not saying forgiveness, acceptance, understanding of what's happened. Forgiveness is a very personal thing. Not everybody will be able to forgive what's gone on, and I'm cool with that. But we do have to work on ourselves to heal the emotions when we've been betrayed so drastically before we can move forward into living in a healthier way and being in a healthier relationship. So the way that things are right now on this planet at all of these levels of society is not working. Clearly, look at the suffering that is all around us. It shouldn't be that way. How things are currently running must change. It's simply not sustainable, the extent of human suffering. It is like living with a lying, cheating spouse and giving more and more of your power away to them every single day. So we need to draw a line in the sand now. Many of us have already, and that's why we haven't participated with many of the things that, governments or whatever have tried to push upon us, in the same way that we do that with a relationship with someone that's betraying us. We just say, no, I'm just not having this anymore. My line in the sand is drawn now. And that's what we need to do collectively. And we need to take our power back because it's our time. So as empaths, if you're an empath, you're probably feeling all of this turmoil that's going on collectively, because it's massive what's happening to the people and this collective shift that's happening on the planet. And even if you don't identify as an empath, actually, even if you don't know what the word empath means, I know that you will be feeling it and you will be affected by it, you are feeling it and you will be affected by it to some degree, because you're human and you can't not, because we actually are all connected. So when one part of us, as a collective humanity, is suffering, there will be a ripple effect and people can feel that. So take care to remove yourself from intense discussions, political discussions, and maybe you might have to move yourself from health and finance discussions and all of this stuff. If it's intense, don't be involved in that to the point that your body's going into stress, because it's bad for your health. It's not good for your vibration. You want to be rising your vibration. So you might need to remove yourself from some of the intense discussion that's happening around. That includes getting off of social media and being very careful what sites you do visit when you're on social media. And of course, turning off the TV. People should have done that 20 years ago. We would be in a very different place. And also, there's a lot of anger around at the moment, a lot of fighting and warlike energy. And actually, I think that has been deliberately built up by the dark forces to kind of propel their agenda. So we have to be careful, really not to take sides, but just to walk on the path in the light. It's always best to stay focused on the light. It's coming to reveal all of this. And, some people are going to need to be very grounded and, really build this strong spiritual backbone very quickly, actually. Probably should have been done years ago as well. But people wake up when they wake up. And it's important to be grounded. This is why I always walk outside in nature, preferably at the beach every day. You've probably seen my stories on Instagram and probably said, oh, she's at the beach again. Because that to me is a place where I feel grounded. The water is there. I just feel so open and free, and the light coming in. And that kind of just makes my heart open and makes my heart sing. So find a place that does that for you. You might not be able to get to the beach, but you might find even a corner in a patch of green grass in the park. Whatever it is, find a place where you can come back and find your center and remove yourself from the chaos of the outside world. And it's going to get more until we get through to the other side. So, find a way that you can hold your center. As I've said before, it's a good thing that all of this is revealing. It's time to clear the skeletons out of the cupboard once and for all, so that we can have open, transparent relationships, and that we can grow together into the light more and more collectively, and that we can look out for each other, because this is humanity, and we have to look out for each other. So take a breath, big deep breath in, and that's your life force and your power coming in. Let it move through your body. Breathe in the light. It's all around you. And when things get intense, when you feel that you just can't handle anymore, definitely remove yourself. Just sit and breathe. And that's life. Your breath is life. Your breath is power. Just find stillness in each day and find your connection with spirit. So if anything that I've said in this reading this week has triggered you, if you need to discuss anything, if you want to talk to me more about these global and collective events, more than what I've talked about here, then I have created some specific sessions for this. So send me a DM and let's work together so that I can support you in your growth and awakening process. Well, I'll be here next week. Have a great week, and remember, continue to find your stillness and your breath. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.